This is Big Leagues Country Roads Rankings. Yoo-hoo!
Good afternoon, everybody. Happy Wednesday to you. I am Travis, KMAC Trav, Big League Trav, Big Mac Trav, Lenardi Trav, any name, you know. Anyway, I'm Travis Berardi, and I'm here with your Big Leagues Country Roads Rankings, brought to you by the fine folks at Knox Community Hospital. The top 10 small school football programs in D5, D6, and D7 in North Central Ohio. It's hockey season. As you can see, my Penguins going for their 5th Stanley Cup championship tomorrow night, beginning that path, but we still got some football to be played. I can't believe, I say this all the time on the stat leaders with Hayden Gray, that I cannot believe it's already week so-and-so. Well, I can't believe it's already week 9. We are in our 8th edition of the Country Roads Rankings, not counting, the playoff, the preseason rankings. But next week starts volleyball and soccer tournament play. In just 2 weeks' time, we'll be talking about who's going where matchup-wise. Actually, in 2 Sundays, it'll be the playoff bracket breakdown with myself and Brian Skoronsky, so tune in for that. But, it's crazy. We're already into the holidays. You can see the pumpkin, and now the meat of our high school football schedule. And I'm just going to stop mumbling now. Let's get to our top 10. But first, let's go to the teams just on the outside looking in. So this is going to stay blank for a second. This is called a tease, though. First team, the Lucas Cubs, 4-4. However, if they win this week, they have a tough schedule the last 2 games. They win 1 game, they are in, and probably going to get a home game. If they get 2, they still have a chance. The 2 wins, they still get a chance at hosting 2 games. Fredericktown, 5-3. They win and get some help. They got to win in their last 2 and get some help because they're in that tough Division 5 region that, probably not going to get a home game, but they can get into the playoffs with 2 wins. Loudonville, 4-4. 2 wins, and they are in the postseason. They have 2 games remaining, one of them against Northmore in Week 10 with a Max Lauer that is back, so that'll be at least bonus points for Loudonville if they can get the victory there. And then, speaking of Northmore, they get 2 wins. They are in, but they got a big one against Centerburg coming up this Friday night. I'll be there live and free. That could get them back into the talk of getting at least not only 1, but maybe 2 home games at the Castle. We'll just have to wait and see how everything works out. But now to those top 10, we're going to fill this in now. At number 10, it is Mount Gilead. Welcome back to the top 10 after a big win at Northmore. Those Mount Gilead Indians, well, they've clinched their first playoff appearance, not COVID playoff, that 2020 year where everybody got in, but their first earned playoff appearance since the Y2K bug was something. Before 2000, Joe Idle, last I saw, 2000 was the first year he did it. They were not even in since then. So since the turn of the millennium, Mount Gilead, because of Matthew Bland and Garrett George, are in the postseason. Now they have a chance maybe to get that backdoor KMAC championship as they go against a Danville squad this Friday night at Danville, who just came off a tough loss to Centerburg. At number 9, another team that was in on one of the craziest finishes you will see. Seneca East 6-2. Mohawk last Friday night in a game you saw live and free along with our friends at WBCO WQEL, but Mohawk kicks a field goal that doinks off the crossbar, gives them the lead. Seneca East goes down, drives down the field, gets a controversial untimed down. It looked like timeout was called after, but that's in the past now. Blake Foose with the keeper with no time left. Seneca East stays in the race for the Northern 10 championship. They beat Winford this week, and either Cary loses this week or they beat Cary, they would get at least a share of the Northern 10 championship. So you're saying there's a chance. There's still a little bit of a chance for Seneca East not only to get a home game in the playoffs with 2 wins, but even get a Northern 10 championship. At number 8, the Hillsdale Falcons. What a turnaround they've had. They started off 1-3, and then their last 4 straight victories, including 2 big wins over Dalton and Smithville. And they got a big one coming up on Friday night. I actually had a chance on Monday to talk with their head coach, Trevor Cline. You saw this on the podcast. Well, you get to see it again. Here's my interview with head coach Trevor Cline about the turnaround they had their last 4 games. I am here with Hillsdale head coach Trevor Cline, the Falcons clinching a playoff spot on Friday night. First of all, congratulations on that. You guys started 1-3. It seemed after your first 4 games that maybe you guys would be fighting for a playoff spot right now, but something switched with your team the last 4 games really well. You have upsets over Dalton and Smithville. Just what switched in the second half of the season for you guys to be so successful?
So the first part of the year, we were, especially on offense, just hurting ourselves, and that was the biggest thing. And we knew if we could get out of our own way, we would be fine on the offensive side of the ball, because really throughout the year, defensively, we played pretty well. But when our defense has struggled, it's because our offense has put them in bad situations. And we got off to a rough start, and our guys did a nice job of sticking together as a team. And we started to get healthy, because there for a few weeks there, we were pretty injured. But we're starting to get healthy. And then, like I said, we just got out of our own way and did a nice job of getting things turned around, moving in the right direction.
You're offensively, with Jake out there being that dual threat quarterback, and then a couple key playmakers at running back and wide receiver. Just what does that do for your squad, having first a quarterback that can not only pass but run, and then have a wide receiver and a running back that can also complement him?
Yeah, that's the thing. Like with our offense right now, there's multiple guys that can make big plays. So when a defense is game planning against us, you can't really key on one guy, just because we have multiple backs, multiple receivers, and obviously a quarterback that can throw and run the football. So you can't just key on one guy, and you can't just key on, hey, we need to shut down the run or shut down the pass. When you can be balanced and execute in both phases of the game, it sets up for a challenge for opposing defense against us.
Now, you have a big one coming up on Friday night. You guys kind of control your own destiny for at least a co-conference championship as well. What's it going to take to get the win on Friday night and then set up a Week 10?
Yeah, the biggest thing is just on this Friday, we just got to keep doing what we've been doing the last few weeks of just excelling on the offensive side of the ball, defensive side of the ball, and on special teams too. And that's the biggest thing is the last few weeks we just have all 11 guys on all 3 phases of the game just doing their job each and every play, and that's what we need again this week. We don't need anyone being a hero. We don't need anyone trying to do someone else's job. We just need them to show up and do their job, and if they do that, they're going to put themselves in a position to continue to stay in first place in the league and continue to compete for a WSL title.
And not only you're in position to compete for a conference title, but you went out, you'll probably have a good shot of being in that top 4 to get 2 home games. What would that mean for you guys to not only get that conference title, but be on this turf for the first 2 weeks of the playoffs?
Yeah, it would be awesome. Whenever you get a chance to play on your home field in the playoffs, that's always a special accomplishment. And it would be the first time that we got to play on our new field here in our new stadium. So it would definitely be sweet if we were able to accomplish that. And our guys have put in the work, and they've done a great job of being a team. So it would be neat to see them accomplish that, because they've definitely earned it if we're able to get to the point where we do get to play here.
All right, Coach. Well, good luck on Friday night, and hopefully we'll see you down the road.
All right, sounds great. Thanks, Travis.
Thank you once again to Coach Trevor Cline and the Hillsdale Falcons, as they are in the playoffs, and they got a big one this Friday night at home against Northwestern. They beat Northwestern, then win their Week 10 matchup. They get a share of the WCAL crown, and like I said in the interview, maybe 2 home games at that beautiful turf down in Jeromesville. Back to the top 10 now at number 7, and it is the Danville Blue Devils. Tough loss in the matchup between 3 and 4, the rankings last week between them and Centerburg. Tyler Johnson, once again, a last-minute drive, just like he did at Loudonville. He does it again at Danville. Touchdown in the final moments to give Centerburg the victory. Danville now with 1 loss in the KMAC. They're going to be rooting for either Northmore or Fredericktown in the next 2 weeks to get back to the top. But they are in the playoffs, and they still have a chance of maybe hosting 1 or 2 games in Division 7. They got Mount Gilead, number 10 versus number 7 here in the rankings, so a lot of bonus points up for grabs there. At number 6, Colonel Crawford bouncing back from that kind of surprising loss to Upper Sandusky, but we've said Upper Sandusky is a pretty good squad. Big win last week. They are now 6-2. They go up against Mohawk, and like I said, Mohawk had a really tough loss, so some points up for grabs there. Crawford, however, in the playoffs, trying to fight for at least 1 home game. They're going to need a lot of help if they want to get 2, so teams ahead of them in D6 Region 22 are going to have to lose for them to get 2 home games, but they can still get a shot at 1 home game for the first round. Now to the top 5. And at number 5, the St. Paul Flyers. 6 straight victories since starting 0-2 in the non-conference. They got the biggest of games coming up Saturday night at home against Crestview for the Firelands Conference pretty much. If St. Paul Can they get the crown back, or do we have a new king in the Firelands Conference in the Crestview Cougars? St. Paul already in D7 Region 25, but a win would most likely get them a couple of home games. At number 4, the Highland Fighting the Fighting Scots of Highland at 6-2. They had a big win against Galleon last week. They go up against River Valley at River Valley in D5. They win. They are in the postseason, so a lot of storylines. But even if they do fall, they'll have another shot against Clear Fork in week number 10 to get into the postseason. But right now, they're at number 4 in my top 10. Now to number 3, the KMAC leading Centerburg Trojans, 7 straight victories. And as you see on the moving pictures, the biggest win that they've had in quite some time as they knocked off Danville in the last seconds, thanks to, well, Jesse Rings there and that man, Tyler Johnson. Big win, 7-1. They are in, and if they get a win against Northmore at home, not only do they clinch at least a share of the KMAC, but they will get a home game. They are right now in 4th in their region. If they get 2 wins, they might be able to, if they knock off Fredericktown and Northmore, get 2 home games down in the heart of Ohio. Now, as always, to number 1B and 1A. At 1B, the Crestview Cougars, 8-0. The big one, like I said, at St. Paul. Number 1B against number 5 for the Firelands Conference Championship. Now, for Crestview, if they win out, they will clinch a top 2 spot, which is big because at number 1A is the team right ahead of them, Cary, the Blue Devils, still unbeaten, still rolling along. However, they host Upper Sandusky, a team that just knocked off Colonel Crawford 2 weeks ago. Might be one of their biggest tests this season other than that Crawford game. But if they win one of the next 2, I believe they're going to stay in the top 2. If they win out, they're going to be the number 1 seed. Crestview wins out, they're going to be the number 2 seed, which I mean, is going to be great for everybody because we want that regional championship matchup possibly if they do their jobs in the postseason. But Crestview wins 2. They are number 2 at least. Cary wins 2. They are going to be number 1. Cary slips up. We might have a flip-flop, and we might have a flip-flop at top of my Country Roads rankings. But there you go. The top 10 small school programs, the 5, 6, and 7, the Country Roads rankings for week number 8. I am KMAC Travis Berardi, and this is presented by Knox Community Hospital. Once again, thank you, Knox Community Hospital, for sponsoring this segment. But that'll do it for the rankings. Make sure tune in Friday night, 11:30, the Friday Night Pigskin. We will have scores from all around the area. We'll have standings. I will be back as Mr. Lenardi Berardi to tell you who else has made playoff appearances, will make playoff appearances, who else has home games. All that stuff will be broken down and whatnot, and also our highlighted games. Oh, and don't forget, Friday night we do have football live and free right here on the OH Report, and then Saturday as well, the big one between Crestview and St. Paul. But I'm going to hit those country roads right now. I will see you Friday. Well, I'll see you probably tomorrow for some soccer, and then Friday for football, and Saturday, and so on and so forth, because we never leave here at the OH Report. But for now, I'm Big Mac. We'll see you later.